guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our free-to-play account on the test server, and yesterday we checked out the Abyssal Expedition starting guide. It was not really a beginner's guide, but it was kind of the starting guide, the basis. Today we're actually going to enter into the Abyssal Expedition, and I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like from a playing perspective. So when you start, you can pick which side you want to start. Usually the left or right. It really doesn't matter that much, depending on the formations that you have. But what will happen, guys, is if you are stuck, let's say up here, and there's only 2 players in the north, it is super hard to get through to path to get to the bosses. It can be really difficult to start if there's only 2 players on each side. And if you fill up one side, essentially there are 3 different bosses within here. When you take down one boss, it systematically kills the other bosses. So it's not like the players on the north or the right side or the east side are going to be completely stuck, because if we go over here, we can actually join 6 other players and start our pathing, which we're going to go ahead and do right now. So this is when we first enter, guys. That is right. We are entering. First land, you always want to cultivate. What cultivate means is you do put a hero in here. It picks up a 20% blessing essence yield. That is right, guys. That is the reason why you want to go ahead and cultivate the first property. Now, within the guide, we were focused on the Ainz Albedo combination. Now, on the test server, we do not have Ainz or Albedo, or we don't have the lineup that we were looking for before, but we do have Ainz, so we're going to put him in here. We also do have a couple other heroes from this formation, including Pharrell. We do have our tank, which was based on Arthur being within this formation. Now, again, Albedo we do not have, and Merlin we do not have. So within this formation, again, we're going to sub in with the best heroes that we have at this time. So actually in here, I'm going to do my damage mitigation is actually going to come from Little Peanut right there, which is going to be a star. And then we have one more hero to put in here. And I was kind of thinking about a defensive unit, which Damon is super strong, guys, especially if you do not have a build out of other heroes. Damon is very self-sufficient. So looking in there, guys, we are just setting up this very first set of heroes right now. We're going to try to do some progression in here. So you can see Village, here is the tier 2. We can go ahead and challenge in here, and this is the formation we have. Now, every time you drop in a hero, it's going to show you exactly how many, kind of where your combat rating is. You can also see here, during battles, allied heroes have multiple attributes increase as the result of Dur's Blessing. So they do 20% more damage against bosses. But looking at kind of where we are systematically with the power, and this is really based solely on your level, guys. So we are almost at the same level that we are of the other team. So it's very close. I'm going to go ahead, slow these battles down, guys, because you don't want to lose heroes. And if you do lose heroes, you actually lose stamina, which again, we were looking at the guide before, and you'll see exactly what I mean as soon as this battle is completed. Making sure that you're staying on the pause button just in case you do need it. Pharrell gets our last target there with Rigby. All right, so we hit all of our targets, guys. So we picked up 3 stars right there. We got 30 essence. Within the stars, we earned 1 star for defeating all enemies. We earned 1 star for defeating enemies within 30 seconds. We added our 3rd star because no one died in battle. 3-star victory, we have retained or recovered 6 stamina. In the battle, it takes 12 stamina to attack. So if you're pulling 3 stars, you can actually get 50% of the stamina that we used to take another a village 2 right here. We're going to drop in another one of our heroes, and there we go. So on and so forth. We're going to move through here again, systematically taking out these camps. Now, some of the things you do pick up within here, there is a significant amount of loot, which every time that you do create complete a rank. So once we go to Squire, and then we move on to our 2nd rank of Knight right here, you actually get the ability to take more tiles. You'll also have the ability to get higher relics, and you'll also be able to add more heroes as you continue moving down here. Now you can also look here in your settlements, which helps a lot when you start picking up a lot more settlements, so you know exactly what you're building with. Now, this is kind of the most important part. I didn't go through and reset the tree like we had kind of talked about with the starting guide, just because here we're playing casuals. We're not playing, you know, the expensive 3,000 diamond route. We're just playing the Abyssal Expedition on the test server with the casuals kind of that we're playing. Now, these were the relics that we were talking about. So within the relics, guys, honestly, you have your 5 different trees. We focused on either going with the ranger tree, going with the mage tree, or going with the warrior tree. The tank tree doesn't provide enough damage to actually take down some of the higher camps, which is the reason why a lot of players do get stuck if they go with the fortitude tree, which is the same with support. You can keep your heroes alive, but the ability to actually kill the heroes is super difficult if you're building this tree off the get-go. So honestly, the best tree and by far easiest tree is of course the celerity tree. Big reason between this is the ranger heroes get a good haste buff, a good health buff, which comes from the elder tree. Packing relics behind that, they do have dodge. Now, dodge is one of the really big factors when it comes to the survivability of the teams, because if you can dodge the abilities or if you can dodge some of the damage, especially when you start getting into higher settlements, it makes it super easy to go through and actually complete a lot of the tasks in here. Now, within this team, we're just kind of testing it out, which I really considered going with the tree. That's the reason that we are looking for Aziz, is going with the mage tree. Now, the mage tree, if you do not have a lot of mages that are significantly built, this is going to be a very big struggle, guys. Now, most of the players that did go with the mage tree, again, really struggled. So I'm going to stick with celerity. And you do start with 1,200, so you can actually pick up one single relic in the beginning. Since the formation we were actually looking to go for was Arthur and Albedo, and then looking for Ainz, Pharrell, and looking for Merlin. Since we know we're going with the celerity, we're going to pick up this one right here, guys. Now look at the damage that it gives. The boost, it gives 38,000. That is right, 38k attack, 10k defense, accuracy, and a lot of insight within there, making it super beneficial to the entire class. And that is the reason. So what we're going to do essentially from this point is we're going to go through, we're going to burn all of our stamina on these 5 heroes once the stamina is utilized. So once we get this to 0 or as close to 0 as we can, this team is actually going to be dropped right out. We're going to drop them into this second tier right there, to allow them to have 80 stamina again. And when we drop them in there, this first tier, we are going to slot in all of our celerity heroes at that time to go ahead and make a very, very, hopefully, big dent into the Abyssal Expedition. So this one, you can see power went up quite a bit because now we know that Pharrell does have a relic in there. And again, I'm not super hardcore with this. We can definitely make some progression. We can finish, probably within the top tier of most of the guilds within here. Even on casuals, it's relatively easy over on these servers to make some solid progression. We can at least get to Prince. We can max this out. Again, pretty easy as we make progression. So titles, picking up some more there. The Blessed Essence, this is the faster that we can get this Blessed Essence, guys. The more relics we get, the stronger our entire class is going to be, which is the reason you can see here, pathing is a big thing. So within the pathing, guys, remember, we only have 7 heroes on this side. You can see where they're kind of making a path. One of the first things you want to do within here as you're taking up some of these camps is pathing to the next player to keep a chain. So essentially one of the things, and I don't like it's actually resetting my formation every single time that we do this, which it usually doesn't. It would usually just save the formation. I might have to save the formation myself right there. But when you're pathing to other heroes, you actually do have the ability to join forces with them, and you can take settlements based on where they're at. So you'll actually combine your tiles. And when you combine your tiles, I can move to any tiles that are adjacent location. Now, one of the big things, of course, that we know they adjusted or changed later is if they drop some of these empty tiles, so the tiles that do not have settlements on there, they will actually continue to be owned even if they're dropped. So when you drop those tiles, you will still own those tiles, or they will still be able to be connected. Even though if the settlement is dropped, you'll still have those connection tiles. Now, military honors, guys, every single level you hit within here, you do pick up some scrolls, which I love. If you're picking up or buying the premium pass, you can see that over here. Again, this is a pretty time-consuming, aspect of AFK Arena. Now, some of the battles, like here we have a Village 3, they are coming up in red. This means it is going to be incredibly hard for me, based on my level, based on the power that I have, to take this. We were about, I think, 730. This is 117. Chances are 9 out of 10 times I'm not going to take this. Either that or I'm going to burn through an incredible amount of stamina trying to take this one out. Where green, of course, it's going to be super easy. You can see here, even with one hero, I'm pretty close. 2 hero takes me over where I am for the power. So essentially, in some of these either or easier comps, I could run probably 2 heroes in here to take out the heroes here. Paying attention, you don't want to lose any of your heroes, but we shouldn't because Ain's ult is so strong. There we go, guys. So we can finish out these camps, the smaller camps, again, based on power, getting 3 stars, only utilizing 2 of our heroes, which is going to save stamina for some of these tier 2s that we're looking, and also looking at the pathing. It's going to be relatively cheap to go ahead and do the pathing. So again, guys, once we utilize and once we use all of our stamina within these heroes are going to be dropped out. We're going to drop our 5-man team to this tier 2 raid in the bottom. So the goal that we have entering the Abyssal Expedition right now is getting 20 settlements. And you can see, guys, this player actually just popped in this second. We are trying to get 20 of these settlements. That way we can maximize the essence that we're getting within the settlements that we have. That is the goal from the beginning. Once you finish out all of the stamina with your first team, swap them in here, finish out all the stamina with the second team, then we're going to drop in every single celerity hero we have, because those are the relics that we chose to continue to go through the Abyssal Expedition. Guys, so that'll do it for tonight's video. I hope it made the guide make a little bit more sense. A lot of players still had a lot of questions on the Abyssal Expedition, exactly how the gameplay goes. So I wanted to give you kind of the heads up and give you the snapshot if you're into the Abyssal Expedition, or if you've done it in the past, kind of just a refresher. If you're brand new to the Abyssal Expedition, we're going to go through here and we'll give some, more in-depth pointers as we continue. But this is kind of the beginner's basic guide for someone who is newer to the Abyssal Expedition. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.